All right, everybody, settle down.
Content warning. This is a horror game and it's not intended for all audiences. You won't be able to save everyone. You might not even be able to save yourself. Welcome home.
We are live! Hello and welcome to Second Shout Studios. This is episode 1 of Scarlet Hollow. It is our first session. We have an amazing cast joining me tonight. We do have a substitution. We have Jules subbing in for Kira. We hope to see her back next week. Actually, next week there's going to be a break, but the week after that for when we continue this exciting game. Yeah. And with that, who's ready to party?
I am.
Woo!
Let's get it.
Awesome.
Let's do it.
The beginning of this game is going to involve a little bit of audience participation, whether that be folks in the stream chat or folks in this call with me here now. What's our name? We could use my name, but we could also use any name.
I'm really holding back from doing the "it doesn't matter what your name is."
If no one's got a better idea, I'm just gonna use my own name and get the heebie-jeebies extra hard.
Yeah.
I mean,
if it's gonna give you heebie-jeebies, we gotta go with that.
Fuck.
Obviously.
What if the name was just Heebie-Jeebie?
Hebe, my
Heebie-jeebies.
GB.
Oh gosh.
Dig. There's your name, Heebie Jeebie.
No, that's too silly. That's too silly.
The name's Chibi.
Yes.
Heebie-jeebie.
We could do something. We could do something classic and gender neutral, like Sam.
There we go. There is a Sam in the
I'd say
game already. I don't want to.
Oh,
Jamie?
not Sam.
He's perfectly neutral.
No, it's too
Casey?
silly.
What about Jamie?
Jamie?
Yeah,
No,
Jamie's
in
good.
the game.
Yeah, that could
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
So
Yeah, Jamie.
there's a Jamie.
Damn
Oh,
it!
that's too close.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, Casey.
No.
What
Casey's
about
good.
Alex?
What about Jaime?
Alex? We'll go with Alex.
Sounds like Alice, and it's gender neutral.
I don't think there's an
Bard suggested Casey, and I like that one.
Casey's good too.
Boingo.
I think Casey's safe.
I don't think there's gonna
Not
be
Boingo.
We're gonna be
No more sillies. No more sillies.
Zenyatta.
I'm not doxing myself. What city are we gonna say that we're from?
New York.
Orlando.
Greatest city in the world, New York, baby, New York.
New York, baby.
It's about the Mets.
New York.
That's what the Mets get on the Mets.
Hey, let me tell you what the fuck is going on.
So you're-
in
so you're just
I am,
doxing-
in fact, a woomph, so I'm going with she.
You're just
her
doxing me
pronouns.
now.
There we
Slay.
go. And then now we have our traits. One of them is predetermined because we have Nolan as every animal. We can talk to animals.
Talk to animals.
can talk to us. A gift and a curse.
Aminals.
And the other one we
Nice.
get to pick as a group. Powerful.
Can we
build.
read them?
Sure. Powerful build. Tough as nails, the pinnacle of fitness, an imposing presence that commands the room, a mean right hook. Mystical, strange and unusual, you see the threads of reality in ways others cannot. Street smart, good at lying and hard to lie to. Fast talker, you can read people and read the room, no door can hold you. Keen eye, observant with a knack for picking up small details. Empathetic. Book smart, well-read and rational, possesses a wealth of esoteric knowledge and know when to use it. A talented researcher. Hot, extremely good-looking, a natural flirt. People just like you, probably because you're a good person.
That's my
Probably because you're a good
I
person.
mean, I'm a sucker
think-
for mystical always.
Same.
Well,
same.
I also think it would be more interesting with mystical.
Mystical's really
I also
cool.
think it would be problematic to be able to talk to animals and be hot. So let's do anything besides hot.
So true.
Hot
I
talk
will
to
not be
animals.
flirting with random animals. Christ. Okay. Are we all happy with mystical?
Yes.
Sorry, Nolan.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
did Nolan want? I didn't hear.
Oh well, he's the animals.
Oh, yes.
Nolan's
No,
muted, by the way.
will not be flirting
It's
with
gonna be, it was going to be
animals.
between mystical and book
I think
smart.
Nolan's in the
Animal
kitchen.
talker.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
I can hear him
One eye
meandering.
the whole
It's-
game, or
all
is
of
that-
these traits are really cool because whenever they come up in the game, you get a little parenthesis with the title of your trait, and then it like gives you
Cool.
information that you wouldn't have had without that skill.
Ooh.
It's really cool. I love this game.
I like Mystical.
I was the
Also,
one who
does
offered
that-
this game to be played. I'm such a nerd about it. I'm excited for this.
That's so fun.
Aminal Talker. Let's go.
And
Yeah.
I mean, they go together too. Talking to
That's
animals
not
is
a-
usually like a magic person thing.
that's not a one eye, that's the third eye, Duck.
Exactly.
You can see the two little eyes below
Yeah.
it.
Ah, a
Two
closed
little
eye
eyes.
looks
He's
like
like, he's like
a little-
Tien.
The closed eyes look like a little villain mustache.
Alright.
Like a Cyclops with a mustache.
And
I
with
see
that-
it and I hate it.
And with that, I think we're ready to begin.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Good. Looks like chat likes Mystical too. Good. Alright. You jolt awake as the bus hits a particularly nasty bump. You feel like you only just managed to start drifting off, and now here you are, awake again and still exhausted. For a moment, you're hazy on the details of where exactly here is, confusing this bus with the many others that came before it. But as your mind continues to reassert its existence in the waking world, the past few days come back into focus. The long-lost cousin, the bad news, the 26 hours of bus rides with countless late-night stops and seedy depots that would have felt unsafe even in the middle of the day. You wouldn't normally find yourself traveling like this, but your cousin bought the tickets. The funeral of Perlan Scarlet, your cousin's mother and your aunt, seemed like something you shouldn't ignore, even considering your own late mother's rocky relationship with this side of the family. But it was also more than just the social pressure of the invitation that pushed you to accept it. Something has been tugging you back to this place your entire life. There was no choice to be made, because you were always going to find your way here. So when your cousin called, you knew what had to be done. So cool. And now, the end of your journey is in sight. You're almost in Scarlet Hollow.
Is this the
That's
bus
you.
creep?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. So anyway, as I was saying,
Oh no, he's still here. He's been sitting next to you for the past 5 hours, talking at you without pause. You're not sure he even stopped when you started to doze off. At first you thought he was just being friendly, but that was several hours of one-sided conversation ago.
I was up in Maryland looking for work, but mostly messing around because I was a dumb teen. Me and my buddies were doing our usual prank stuff, you know, pushing joggers into the harbor, that sort of thing.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you know, teen stuff. So this girl comes up to us, swinging her purse, yelling about how she was gonna call the cops or whatever. It was hilarious. She actually hit my friend and said it hurt a lot, so I guess she really was mad and not just playing. But she kept swinging, and soon enough she lost her balance and fell into the harbor all on her own. We didn't even have to push her. We had a good laugh and fished her out, and the phone got soaked so she didn't call the cops on us. We wound up hanging out all day. She kind of became my girlfriend after that, and we've been on and off for about a year, so it's pretty serious. Though, about 5 months ago, she tried to break up with me, like, for real, and jeez. You ever just get so mad that you, like, wanna, you know, kill somebody?
Oh yeah, all the time. I do the same thing. Never followed through, of course.
Oh yeah, totally. Never would. Of course not.
Yeah, but I definitely think about it. Sometimes I even plan it out, just, you know, to let off some steam. Would never do anything.
Yep, never. But a person can't help with what thoughts they have, right? Honestly, I could have killed that woman. Anyway, she's giving birth to our son right now, so I'm trying to get up to Virginia to be there for it. But I don't know if I'm, like, you know, into that stuff, so I might just wind up on a bus to New York or something instead. I've always wanted to go there.
Heh. Interesting. Wow, that's neat. Please let this man get off the bus soon, you think. You're not sure where he could possibly take this conversation next, but you definitely don't want to find out.
Yeah, people tell me I lead an interesting life. But I don't know. I'm just going with the flow. Maybe other folks don't do that enough. Anyways, where'd you say you were headed?
Couple options here. Definitely not doxing myself. We're gonna go mystical. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. My mother fled this place many years ago, but she's gone now, and I can feel it calling me back. Some things can only be put off for so long. The young man anxiously shifts in his seat. For one perceptible moment, it's his turn to feel uncomfortable, before he catches himself and heartily laughs.
Yeah, you must be talking about Scarlet Hollow, right? The old holler, as they call it in the mountains. That's the only other stop until this bus turns around. So if you aren't getting off at my stop, you must be headed up that way. Almost nobody ever goes there. I'm usually alone on the bus by now, though, actually. I had a couple of buddies who went up there to work on the mine. There's a coal mine up in the holler. You see, there's always a job listing or two on the boards around here. I've never wanted to do that thing myself. I like my lungs the way they are, thanks, but my buddies got desperate enough to try it. I haven't heard from them in a while. Now to think about it. I should see if they're on Facebook. See how they're doing up there. I hope they didn't die!
He looks back at his phone, for once focused on something other than you.
Oh, this is me. It was lovely meeting you. I hope you don't get too bored without me around to talk to. Here, I had something for you.
The stranger rifles through his pack before presenting you with a dripping bag of peanuts.
They're boiled peanuts. I got them at a gas station a few buses back. I noticed you ain't got nothing to eat, so I figured you could use some more than me. Plus, they dripped all over my bag, so I don't want to carry them anymore.
Tip: sometimes picking a dialogue option establishes new facts about who you are. I'm not eating those things. I'm just going to take the peanuts. You take the peanuts. Thanks!
You're welcome. And with that, I leave you. Safe travels, friend.
And just like that, the stranger is gone. Maybe you can finally get some sleep. Duck, if you wouldn't mind taking this line.
Next stop, Scarlet Hollow. End of the line.
Almost there. The bus finally comes to a stop, its brakes squealing as it deposits you in front of the Scarlet Hollow bus station. The sign at least reads bus station, but calling it that feels disingenuous. At best, it's a kiosk. Though for a small town like this, you're amazed there's so much as a road, let alone a bus that drives on it every week. The driver quickly shuts the doors behind you and starts the engine, kicking up dust clouds as he pulls away, eager to leave you and this place behind.
Hey, Casey.
You instantly recognize the worn young woman from the few public photos on her Facebook page. She's your cousin, Tabitha, and she looks annoyed to be here. I could offer her the boiled peanuts. I'm gonna give her my condolences. I'm so sorry for your loss, Tabitha.
Yes, great. Thank you. Let's get back to the estate. I don't want to spend any more time down here than I have to.
Your cousin turns and motions to an old BMW parked near the bus kiosk. You follow her, clambering into the dusty relic. It doesn't take much driving before the only signs of civilization are the car you're in and the road you're on. Tabitha maintains an icy silence as she focuses on the road. Dialogue options labeled Explore can usually be taken without advancing the story. They can impact relationships and unlock additional story paths, so choose carefully. How you holding up?
Fine.
You know you can talk to me, right? I lost my mom too. I know we only just met, but you know I went through something similar with my own mom, so if you ever need to vent or...
I'm good.
I'm not picking this option.
Do it.
So, the funeral. It's on Sunday, right?
Yep. Like I told you.
Have you worked out all the details yet?
Mm-hmm. Taken care of. Don't need any help.
I can't believe we've never actually met before this.
You have your mom to thank for that. Or had, I guess.
You can feel the same careless cruelty in Tabitha's words that your mother would use when she talked about Perlan and the old Scarlets. The wound that tore your family apart runs deep enough that it bled through the generations. Do I do a bit confrontational or a little more, are we okay? No Dead Moms Club. We're not doing the Dead Moms Club. I feel like she'd get mad if I compared her to my mother, so. Is there bad blood between us? I'm sorry, but is there bad blood between us? All I know is my mom left and she was mad at this side of the family, but I don't know much besides that. Your cousin stares straight ahead, her expression icy. No, we're not doing that. You decide to sit in silence with your cousin as the car eases up the steep mountain road. And here it is, the Scarlet Estate. Though it's seen better days, its crumbling elegance is not lost on you. Someone used to cramped apartments in gray cities. Oh my, that was so hard for me to read. Your mother told you about this place many times before she passed, always with an anger burning beneath her words. The faded majesty you once imagined doesn't quite compare with what's in front of you. A jarring blend of opulence and ruin. As you stare at it perched on the crumbling cliffside, you can't help but feel like it's something that should have been left to rot a long, long time ago. You're hit with a blast of dusty air as you step across the threshold and into the foyer. Everything in this room has been here for much longer than you've been alive, each object cemented in place with layers of dust and cobwebs. You can hear doors creak on their hinges and the aches and moans of ancient floorboards as the house itself sways in the wind.
Welcome to our family's humble estate. Fortunately, due to the current state of the house, only a few rooms will safely be accessible during your stay. I wouldn't go wandering around anywhere else if you value your limbs. The floors have been known to give out. If you know what's good for you, you'll stick to your room, your bathroom, and the kitchen, and hallways, I guess. But only the hallways you need to use to get to those places. I'll show you around so you know where it's safe to walk. You can leave your bags here for the time being.
It's beautiful.
It is. The estate was the prized jewel of the region for a long time. It's quite a magnificent piece of architecture, even now. Let's just get the tour over with. Follow me.
You put your bags down and follow Tabitha through the long, dusty hallway. She delicately steps over holes and tears in the floor, and you do your best to trace her steps.
Kitchen. On Wednesdays, a woman from town comes in and does the cleaning. Her name is Janie. I wouldn't recommend socializing with her. She'll talk your ear off. If you need any food, there's fixings for peanut butter and jelly.
As Tabitha speaks, your eyes are drawn to the windows and overgrown garden outside. Dread and anxiety grip your lungs, and you can almost feel the ground beneath you start to slip. This place is a step away from being swallowed up and vanishing forever.
Don't touch my mac and cheese or my ice cream. Those are off limits. Oh, you can also access the garden through here, but it's pretty wild, so I wouldn't if I were you.
Some explore options prevent you from taking others. Choose carefully. Ooh, mystical option. Ooh, a different mystical option. Being mean, lying, lying. PB&J. Is there somewhere in town to buy food? What if I want ice cream? What's next? We'll start here. Was there somewhere in town to buy food? I might want to eat something other than PB&J this week. Is there somewhere in town where we can get groceries?
Oh, aren't you fancy? Yeah, there's a general store. There's also a diner. I usually order my food in bulk online, though, so I wouldn't be going with you.
Sweet, thanks.
Cool. Good talk.
I feel like she'd get snappy if I used any mystical options here. We'll talk about PB&J, sure. Awesome! I love PB&J. How'd you know it was one of my favorites? That smile cannot be real. It's a beautiful smile, I know.
I didn't, but good for you.
I just need this smile to stop happening. Alright, what's next? What's next on the tour?
Bathroom. Follow me.
Great, it's been hours since I've gone. As the two of you leave the kitchen, you pass by a tuxedo cat sitting on the countertop. I'm approaching the cat. I'm gonna start using my perk.
Don't try to pet Frou Frou. If she wants to be pet, she'll let you know.
Ne me parle pas.
Sorry, I don't speak French. I'm sorry, little lady. Je ne parle le français.
Of course, how typically American. I shall debase myself by speaking your tongue, but only that I might insult you directly to your face, you uncultured swine.
Haha, very funny. Her name sounds French. Stop wasting my time and let's finish the tour.
You once again follow Tabitha through a long, dusty hallway. Maybe after a few nights it'll get easier to navigate these spaces, but for the time being, you feel lucky to have not fallen through these floors.
This bathroom. Not much to show. It's a bathroom. I'll wait outside. Do what you must, if you must.
It's a wretched bathroom. Piles of junk sit untouched in the corners of the room, and mystery stains paint the floor. Wait, are you sure this toilet works?
Yes. Why wouldn't it? The water bills get paid, therefore the toilet works. Now do your business so we can move on.
Okay. I sigh in resignation.
That's the spirit.
Who exactly uses this bathroom?
Guests.
Lift the toilet seat.
Crab fellas, a G is up!
The bugs skitter from the bowl as I lift the seat. Use of seats. A toilet is a toilet. Sure, it could be cleaner, but your business needs doing, and this is as good a place as any. You do what you must and rejoin your cousin out in the hall.
Next up, guest bedroom. Last stop on the tour. Follow me.
You and Tabitha briefly return to the foyer before climbing the stairs and reaching the guest room. The room smells old. Dust, mildew, wood rot, has it all. A week of sleeping in this place might give you permanent lung damage.
This is where you'll be staying. Linens are fresh. Janie washed them last week. I had to endure a half-hour rant about her kid to get her to do it. So you better be grateful.
An unmistakable stain coats this room. Someone has died here. No, people have died in here.
The closet is full of old family stuff, so you can't hang your clothes up. But you can use the dresser. It should be empty.
People have died here, haven't they? I can sense a heavy spiritual fog hanging over this room. People have died here, haven't they?
When? This house is almost 150 years old. Obviously, people have died here.
This room is amazing. This is great. Way nicer than what I'm used to.
I can't say I'm surprised. Each and every piece of furniture in this room is a genuine antique, handed down through the family for generations. This is not an IKEA bedroom or whatever such nonsense you're used to in the city.
Who used to sleep here?
Like I said, this house is almost 150 years old. Many, many people have slept here. And now you'll sleep here, carrying on the fine tradition of bedrooms being slept in.
Guess I'll start to get settled.
Follow me. I'll take you back to the foyer so you can collect your belongings. This concludes our tour. I'm afraid I must return to my duties, so you'll have to entertain yourself for the rest of the day. Don't expect to see much of me.
Some dialogue options will open additional conversation paths, some right away and others down the line. Where are you going? Wait, where are you going?
To work? Somebody has to pay the bills around here.
What kind of work do you do?
I run the coal mine, same as every Scarlet who came before me. Except for you and your mom. It requires a lot of time and concentration, so I'd appreciate it if you didn't keep me for long.
I didn't know we owned a coal mine.
We don't own the coal mine. I own the coal mine. Your side of the family forfeited any claims to it years ago.
Hashtag girl boss. No. That's kind of sad. Don't you ever think about things you could be doing with your life that might give you a better sense of purpose than running a coal mine?
Some of us don't have that luxury of choice, Casey. Some of us had to stick around to keep the family business from crumbling, to keep this town from crumbling. Some of us had to temper our expectations for how our lives are going to go. There's a simple satisfaction to getting a task done, and that's all I need. Do whatever it is you want to do while I'm gone. Just don't do anything dumb or dangerous. Not when I'm responsible for you.
Did I do something wrong? You asked me to come for this funeral, but since the moment I got here, you've been acting like I spat in your coffee. What's going on? Was it something I said?
Okay, I'm sorry. I've been testy since you've gotten here. You haven't done anything wrong. I'm just under a lot of pressure right now. Please, just stay out of my hair until later, okay? I have work to do.
I won't keep you, but we should hang out when you get back.
We'll see. There's a lot that needs to be get done this week.
Cousin leaves through the front door. And now it's just you. You and this sprawling, decrepit estate. We got options. Where do we want to go first, gamers? I'm gonna let the Discord decide. Do we want to go to the kitchen, the room, or the forbidden wing?
Always the PB&J.
One vote for PB&J. Are we all excited about some snack foods?
I agree. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, let's go for the
Sure.
food first. Been on a bus for a while.
A PB&J sounds great right now. I'm not eating those boiled peanuts. You haven't had anything to eat all day. The only thing louder than your stomach right now are the creaks and moans of this ancient place. A PB&J sounds like exactly what you need to take on the rest of the day. You head to the kitchen. You're back in the kitchen, ready to craft a beautiful peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's a daunting task given the state of the place, but the aggressive growls of your stomach outweigh your fear of food poisoning. To get started, you'll probably need to find some peanut butter, some jelly, bread, a plate, and a knife. Oh, do we want to start with frou-frou? I think we're going to start with frou-frou. Frou-frou hisses as you draw near and remains firmly in place.
You might want to talk to me, but I don't want to talk to you. Go away.
I could offer frou-frou my boiled peanuts. Do you like living here?
I despise small talk.
Can you tell me about Tabitha? What can you tell me about my cousin? This is the first time I've met her.
Spare me your life story. Tabitha at least knows not to bother me.
Can you tell me about my aunt? Pearl Ann? I never knew my aunt.
She's dead. I don't waste my time on corpses.
That's cold.
If you won't take the hint, I suppose I'll have to take things into my own hands.
Frou-frou lunges at your hand and bites you hard. You back away. Alright. Ooh, we have the garden as an option. We'll start with the food things. Search the fridge. As you approach the fridge, your eyes catch a note taped to the door reading, "Janie, stay out," in all caps. Below it, in separate handwriting, are the words, "Okie dokie." It's adorable. You open the fridge. You already feel a deep urge to wash your hands, even though you've yet to touch anything other than the handle. We gotta look at the old takeout. It's crucial to getting to know someone. Why did you do that? What were you expecting? This takeout container is disgusting beyond words. A liquefied mess wholly congealed in its styrofoam shell. You can't even tell what it used to be. The substance doesn't just smell bad, it smells ancient. For God's sake, put it back, we're not eating it. Your body reacts before you can even register what you're doing, compelled by a deep, primal disgust. You shove the container back in the fridge, pushing it into the depths of the shelves and out of your mind. Hopefully you can forget it exists and move on with your life. We gotta check the mayo. You know you probably shouldn't, but part of you has to know how old that mayonnaise is. You pick up the jar, its label flaking in your hand. It expired 10 years ago. This jar of mayonnaise is old enough to graduate the 5th grade. Best to put it back and forget you ever saw it. Oh, I'm not grabbing. Do I piss off Tabitha and get some ice cream? We're gonna start with the jelly. You reach for one of the unopened jars of grape jelly. Carefully checking its expiration date, you breathe a sigh of relief when you realize it's recent. It was either purchased specifically for you, or jelly is one of the few things in this kitchen Tabitha actually uses. All you need now is a plate, a knife, bread, and some peanut butter. Better close this fridge and keep looking. Lapel de vide. No, we're closing the fridge. Tabitha already hates me enough. You return to the kitchen, closing the fridge behind you. I kind of want to peek out into the garden. This garden was reclaimed by the wilderness long ago. It may not be very safe, but who's to stop you from venturing deeper? Do we want to keep exploring the garden, or do we want to return to the kitchen? I'm going to leave this up to the Discord.
Garden.
One vote for garden.
Let's see the pretty flowers.
Garden, please.
We got a ton of votes for
J'adore.
garden.
I love nature.
Nature good. You wander further into the garden. It's quiet out here. Oh, okay, we just get pretty new art. Lovely. You head back inside and close the door behind you. Alright, I guess it's pantry time. Tabitha sure loves her mac and cheese. I'm going to examine the mac and cheese. I'm not going to take it, I'm just going to examine it. You pick up a box of Tabitha's mac and cheese. You can't say you've ever seen the brand before. That would be so fucked up. Emptying the box and stuffing it with a dead mouse. I'm not doing that. Poor guy. We're going to put it back. Staying away from the mac and cheese was one of your cousin's hard rules, and she already seems to not like you. You put the box back where you found it, reluctant to make things worse than they already are. We're going to take some bread. You pick up one of the non-moldy loaves of bread. Great, one step closer to satisfying snack. All you need now is plate, knife, and some peanut butter. Peanut butter. The king of nut butters. Only 3% of each jar is mashed up cockroach. The only thing you need now are a plate and a knife. You close the pantry door as best you can and turn back to the rest of the kitchen. Cabinets. The cabinet must be where Tabitha keeps the dishware, and oddly enough, the utensils. What? Ooh, I want to examine the mug. It reads, I was blown away at Blowing Rocks, North Carolina. So your aunt and cousin actually traveled sometimes, even if it was only a few hours from the estate. Maybe you can route your return trip through Blowing Rock. It might be nice to see the local sights before heading home. Shot glass. It reads, I survived Deb's 50th. Your aunt's name was Pearl Ann, so this wasn't from her 50th. And from the few stories you've heard of your mom, Pearl Ann wasn't the type to have kitschy friends who gave out themed shot glasses at their birthday parties. I'm very curious as to what the grab a bowl is, but we don't need to grab a bowl. We're gonna grab a plate and a butter knife. You grab a plate and a butter knife. This is the last ingredient you need to make your PB&J. Time to get to work. Fuck it, we'll grab a bowl. Christ. As you reach for the bowl, but as you pull it down, a blend of vinegar and dead moths splashes onto you, immediately staining your shirt. On the back of the bowl is a note that reads, Moth trap, do not touch. Whoops.
Idiot.
Your shirt is now unpleasantly wet. You'll probably change into something clean before you leave the house. You close the cabinet and look back to the rest of the kitchen. Triumphantly, we're gonna make that PB&J. Despite the state of this horrendous kitchen, you have successfully combined your 3 ingredients to make the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Congratulations, you can feed yourself. A job well done. All of that hassle, and it took you less than a minute to eat. The rest of the day lies in front of you. I'm done here. Congratulations, you've eaten and have a full day ahead of you. What do you want to do next? Forbidden Wings or my room? Chat? Do we want to...
Forbidden.
Do we want to be a dangerous little boy and go to the forbidden place?
Forbidden.
Yeah, forbidden.
I'm gonna have fucking nightmares, chat. Let's go to the forbidden
Just
place.
ignore us. Just the Greek chorus, you know.
Honestly.
It's forbidden, which means it's for us.
Hell yeah. I'll go with that logic.
Here, I'll make that a little less better. I'll make that better. Explore the Chamber of Secrets.
Good. With Tabitha gone, there's no one stopping you from going into the forbidden wings of the estate. You immediately try the nearest door, only to be impeded by locks and chains. I guess I'll settle into my room. Sorry, chat. Now that your cousin is gone, the aches and pains of your journey sink into your bones. You stumble back up to the stairs to your room, suitcase in tow, eager to unwind before you face the rest of the day. You stand at the entrance to your room. Ooh, let's look at the window. What's out there? You can only imagine how beautiful the garden must have been in its heyday. If you owned this place, you'd totally get out there with a shovel and some gardening gloves and whip it into shape. You'd go out and pull weeds, chop trees, carve topiaries, and do whatever you needed to do to return it to its former glory. And once it was all done, you'd sit by the fountain, which of course would have a little goldfish in it, and drink a floral tea while enjoying the birdsong. Yeah, you'd definitely do that. Just not right now. Look at the painting. This must be an older relative of yours, judging by the dates on the inscription. You've never heard of her, but you'd barely heard anything about your aunt and cousin until a few weeks ago, so that's not a surprise. Maybe you could ask Tabitha about this Mary Belle Scarlet the next time you see her. That is, if she's actually in the mood for conversation. We'll check the closet. You can see why your cousin said you should put your clothes in the dresser instead of this closet. There must be decades of family history stacked up in here. I'm gonna touch it. Of course you're sharing a room with a creepy doll. You pick it up to examine it more closely. Its foot reads, "Property of Alexandra." No need to carry this around with you. You close the closet behind you. Let's put our spare clothes in the dresser. You drag your suitcase over to the dresser and open the bottom drawer. A possum lurks within. It's quiet but angry.
Evade!
Friend, no hurt.
Afraid!
Aw, what's your name, little guy? I'm Casey.
Dusted.
Ooh, there's so much here. What are you doing in my drawers?
Warm. Dark.
Makes sense. What's in the forbidden wing? There's a door with a bunch of locks and chains on it.
Bad place. Not safe. Dusted, no visit.
Can you tell me about the human who lives here?
Which human?
Perlan died. Only one human lives here.
Dusted, not good with names. 2 human live here.
Can you tell me about the humans who live here? Okay, Dustin, can you tell me about the 2 humans who live here?
1 human sad.
What human? Scary.
The sad human. Can you tell me about them?
Cries. Gives Dustin bad sleeps.
The scary human. Can you tell me about them?
Always watches. Eyes hateful.
Never mind. Thanks for the help, Dustin.
Okay.
Oh, should I offer him boiled peanuts? I'm gonna offer him boiled peanuts.
Yeah, please do.
You hold out your still dripping bag of boiled peanuts.
Afraid death comes for Dustin!
You close the drawer. You might as well let Dustin be. My favorite character, by the way. You open the top drawer next. It's empty. As good a place you'll find to put your clothes. Based on the state of the house, you wonder if you're better off keeping your clothes in the nice, clean bag, but there's no going back now. We'll take a little nap. We've earned it. You immediately collapse onto the bed. You're tired enough that being alone in a strange new place won't stop you from passing out. Or so you thought. You cough as a small cloud of dust rises up from the mattress. These sheets might be fresh, but everything beneath them might have been around to see the dawn of civilization. You try to settle in, but the bed is lumpy in strange places, and you can feel the springs pressing through the fabric. You might be tired, but you're far from tired enough to get in more than a few minutes of uncomfortable napping. That's enough. It doesn't seem like there's much else for you to do here right now. Might as well head into town. Now that you're settled in, there's not much left for you to do here other than head out and explore the town. You do just that. Before leaving the house, you rinse off and change into a clean shirt. You're not about to meet new people coated in vinegar and dead moths. If you'd have known you'd wind up having to walk all the way back to town, you probably would have just asked Tabitha to leave you at the bus stop, especially with how unhappy she seemed to see you. If only you could wipe the slate between the two of you clean and bury some of the tension. Though maybe her mother's funeral isn't the best time for something like that. Then again, maybe it's the perfect time. It's really pretty out here. Finally, you made it back to town. The holler, as that guy on the bus called it, has probably seen better days. It still has the feeling of an idyllic country town, but its sidewalks are cracked and many of the storefronts are boarded up, their windows dusty with age. A chill breeze sweeps down the lane, and you shudder, suddenly feeling as if you're peering into a grave. Oh. Kyle, this is you. Oh. And then Nolan, this is you.
I do declare, who is this stranger, and why does she smell of peanut butter?
Sorry about that. Gretchen can be very slippery when she wants to be. She loves to get loose and cause havoc.
It's nice to meet you, Gretchen. I'm Casey.
Oh my! I can't remember the last time I met a newcomer who was so wonderfully polite. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Casey.
That's a funny way to introduce yourself. I'm Stella. It's not often I see a strange face up in the holler. Every now and then there's a new crop of coal folks, but you don't look dusty enough for that. You weren't in town for the funeral, are you? The Scarlet funeral?
Yep. I just got into town today.
Wow. I didn't think there would be anyone else coming. Are you staying with Tabby? How is she holding up?
Upon mention of your cousin, Gretchen mutters under her breath.
One of these days I'll get that Tabitha to pet me.
I haven't seen her since Pearl Ann passed. Or for a while before that, now that I think about it.
I'm so sorry. Did you say Tabby? Did I hear you right? I can't imagine Tabitha ever going by something so bubbly.
She did, back when I knew her better. It's been a while. I hope she's okay.
Deep. Is she always so, you know...
Rough around the edges? Yep, that's Tabby for you. I wouldn't take it too personally. I'm not sure what it says about her state of mind that she's still the same old grumpy self. It'll probably be good for her now that you're staying there, even though she'd probably never admit it.
Are you two friends?
I was probably closer than most people have gotten to being able to call her a friend. The school here is really small, so everyone had to at least get along with everyone else. She was a grade ahead of me, but everyone knew her, especially since she's a Scarlet. We wound up bonding a bit when we were both in the school's production of A Midsummer Night's Dream. I was Puck, and she was Mustard Seed. As you might have expected, she was more than a little prickly, but I managed to soften her up a bit at the end. But then she graduated, and that was that.
I haven't seen that girl or her horrible little cat since I was middle-aged. Oh, before it slips my mind, if you're staying up there in that fancy mansion, you must have met Frou-Frou. How does that monster fare?
So here's the risk. I can respond to Gretchen, but then Stella might think I'm fucking crazy. So this is a risk-reward kind of thing. Tap this cat. Unfortunately, we've met. I'll pet her if it's the last thing I do. I mean, that's how I feel in my heart. I will pet her if it's the last thing I do. Sounds like you and Frou-Frou have a history, or ignore Gretchen, or Stella will discover me. I think I'm gonna ignore Gretchen. I love her so much, but I'm gonna ignore her.
All I'll say is she seems to be into crazy. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's true. That is true. Maybe we'll get over it with some mystical prompts later. Or maybe we'll just have a heart-to-heart with Gretchen in another scene. Thank you for wearing a costume to the recording, Nolan. I appreciate it. You choose to ignore Gretchen's question, lest Stella discover your secret powers.
If you do see that devil of a cat, please send my regards, and do let her know that not only do I still draw breath, but that I very much still plan to outlive her.
Oh, if you just got to town, you must be starving. I was just on my way to the diner for a coffee, and they've got amazing biscuits. My treat.
We're gonna follow her. The pleasant aroma of greasy breakfast food hangs heavy in the air. In contrast with the empty, lifeless atmosphere of the family estate, the diner is filled with the comforting din of human life. All of which grinds to a sudden halt as the patrons realize that a stranger has entered the establishment. I think I'm gonna go for low conflict and quietly slide into the nearest booth. You slide into the nearest booth, pretending you don't even notice that the diner gawking like they'd just seen Bigfoot.
No need to be shy. They don't meet many strangers. It's kind of a big deal when someone new wanders into town. Especially since, well, they probably all know what you're here for, and by extension, you're related to. Even if you don't know anybody, it's not easy keeping secrets in a town like this size.
Bart, this is you.
Hey, Stella. I went and fixed you up a coffee.
They gracefully place a cup of specially brewed coffee in front of Stella.
Aw, shucks. Thanks, Avery.
And here's some bacon for the little lady.
For me? For me?
Gretchen sniffs the bacon and digs in. Tip, you can hit the H button on your keyboard to hide the text box. This was necessary.
It is a necessary tip to give.
Anything for you?
I will not offer them my boiled peanuts. I'm gonna get a biscuit and a coffee. That actually just sounds delicious right now. Can I have a biscuit and coffee, please? I heard they were good.
Best in the country.
Avery pours the fragrant brew into the empty mug in front of you. They linger after pouring your coffee, turning to you nervously.
Oh, and I'm, sorry for your loss.
Before you have the chance to respond, they're gone.
Glad you took my advice with the biscuit. You won't regret it. Anyways, the funeral's not till Sunday, right? That gives you but quite a bit of time to slum around town. I'm trying to think if there are any cool events going on this week. There's always the reading adventure at the library, which is supposed to be for little kids, but I do it every month anyway. Oh, and I'm pretty sure Avery's throwing a party Saturday night, so that's a fun thing I'm looking forward to. And there's the weekly Sunday potluck. That should be right after the funeral too, so it'll be a special occasion.
Is the potluck like a church thing? Would it be weird for me to come if I'm not a member?
No. The Sunday thing is coincidental. It's actually hosted by the library. Not too many people go to church around here, if I'm being honest.
A non-religious community in the rural South? That's gotta be unusual.
I know. We must seem like such heathens. But there are plenty of God-fearing folks in town. They just aren't the biggest fans of the local church. Well, the building's okay, but the pastor is another story. There's just something a little off about the guy. You'll get what I mean if you ever meet him. And unfortunately, you probably will. Anyway, so those are all the big events I can think of. As for the day-to-day, any idea how you want to kill time for the rest of the week?
No clue. Honestly, I have no clue.
Well, you're in luck as you've happened to run into the person who knows all the best stuff to do around here and has limitless time to show you around. My boss is pretty forgiving. Oh, wait, you probably wouldn't get that joke since we don't know each other that well. I'm self-employed, so I'm my own boss, so I'm forgiving myself. Get it?
I would do the no, please explain the joke, but I want to make sure that it's in the like, no, I don't get it kind of way, you know, where I'm going along with it. But I don't trust it. I don't trust it. What is a wooden laugh? I don't know what that means.
Yeah, like kind of a faking laugh.
Oh.
Like that might be the go along with it type thing.
I'm gonna go, yeah, I get it, and hope that it's not like a, yeah, I get it, you know? Yeah, I get it. Okay, nothing. Before Stella can finish, Avery returns, biscuit in tow.
Is there nothing else coming for me? Gosh, if I had known that plate of bacon would be my main and only course, I would have waited before digging in.
We just needed to see Gretchen's face again.
Here's your biscuit. Winnie says it's on the house. She sends her condolences.
Oh, you didn't have to do that. It looks great.
No worries. Hope you enjoy it.
You pick up the biscuit. It's delicate and fluffy. It nearly crumbles at your touch. Buttery warmth emanates from its surface. You don't even need to taste it to know that it's good. Divinity given buttery form. I wonder how that's a mystical trait, but okay. You take a bite. It melts in your mouth, as if it was nothing but butter suspended in a thin matrix of dough. Truly, this is a perfect biscuit. Whoa. This is really good biscuit. Wow.
I'm so glad you like it.
Avery lingers at the table for a moment.
So, as Stella mentioned, she's famous.
Oh, Avery, I'm not famous.
Look, if you're not gonna go around tooting your own horn, you know I'm gonna do it for you.
Stella sighs.
I'm a YouTuber.
You can be really mean in this game. What kind of videos do you
You
do?
and everyone else is crazy.
Cool, what kind of videos do you do?
She hunts cryptids. You should really check out her channel, Casey. It's amazing.
I won't call them on it. We already know this town gossips. You choose to ignore Avery mentioning your name before you've been introduced. It's a small town. Word probably gets around.
I think the best video to start with would be that river one. Not the lake, but, you know, the controversial one.
Oh, yeah.
Me too.
Catawba.
Oh, yeah, the Catawba River Runner. I didn't expect much out of that footage at the time, but it wound up being my most popular video by far. So, the River Runner is a cryptid that's only known from a single sighting. Two Boy Scouts thought they saw something big and weird in the Catawba River, and that's all I had to go on. But then I wound up catching this on camera.
Stella pulls out her phone and shows you a clip of something in a river.
Some folks said it was a beaver, but if that was the case, it'd be at least twice the size of any beaver I've seen. I've seen a lot of beavers. Sorry. I also had people say.
That's nasty.
Sorry.
You're the expert.
Yep. I also had people say. I'm sorry.
Go on, then.
Bro, you good?
I also had people saying it was a dog or even a capybara that must have escaped from a local wildlife sanctuary.
It was a mountain lion. I could smell it stink from miles away.
I'm still not sure what it was, and I'm the one who saw the thing with my own 2 eyes.
I'm not gonna say I don't believe in cryptids. Dog or a beaver, honest to God cryptid, or do I go with the Gretchen angle? I don't know if I'm ready to be fully crazy yet. I'm gonna say that's an honest to God cryptid there. That's an honest to goodness cryptid right there. No way that's a beaver or a dog. And there's no way a capybara would be swimming in a river in the mountains of North Carolina. Unless there's some North American colony of capybaras in Appalachia, but that would still count as a cryptid, wouldn't it?
Yeah, until someone catches a capybara up here, that would still count it as a cryptid by most standards. My comment section went nuts for this footage, and from there it spread Twitter pretty fast. There were polls for days. I even had actual experts weighing in. It was all a really good experience. And it meant the video did some pretty great numbers.
Personally, I'm a fan of the capybara theory. Sure, it's not like any local sanctuaries were missing one, but there's always people keeping exotic animals as pets. Kind of a sewer gator type situation.
Exactly. Some exotic pet owner set it free and now it will forever roam the Carauba, confusing Boy Scouts and YouTube commenters for years to come. So, speaking of things to do around town, I was actually planning on filming this week's video tonight. I was wondering if maybe you'd want to come along? It's a pretty easy one this week. We wouldn't even have to camp anywhere. I'm gonna go after the...
Wait! No spoilers.
Oops. Sorry, Avery.
It's okay. I should probably get back to it instead of standing around and chatting with friends. See y'all around.
Now that the coast is clear, I'm going after the skunk ape.
Isn't that just a worse Bigfoot? That's a funny one. I'm gonna make sure that everyone here knows what a skunk ape is. What's a skunk ape?
It's like Bigfoot, but smellier. Most skunk ape sightings are from Florida, but while I was doing research for last week's video, I came across a report where a lady from a town over claimed to have seen one on her deck, playing tug of war with her dog. And as I leave no stone unturned, I decided it was worth investigating. So, what do you say? You want to tag along? Hold the camera for me while I narrate against a darkening sky. If that sort of thing.
Are you gonna be there, Gretchen? That depends. Are you gonna be there, Gretchen?
Oh, naturally. I wouldn't want any misfortune to befall my beloved Stella. I must stay by her side, though, through thick and thin, however odd her passions may be.
Of course. It's actually been a while since I've had anyone but Gretchen out there with me.
Say no more. I'm in.
This is gonna be a lot of fun. I actually started the channel with a couple of buddies of mine back in middle school, so it'll kind of be like a blast from the past. Me and Kanika and Reese, running around in the woods, flipping over rocks and bothering salamanders. Our videos were terrible, but we had a lot of fun, and that's all that mattered to us. You know, that gets me thinking. I wonder if they'd be down to come along with us. Get the old gang back together. Though I guess Kanika had has to close out the general store tonight, so I'm pretty sure she's a no-go. But Reese... I think there's a decent chance we could get him to come out of his hidey hole, if he's up for it. Do you mind if I make a quick call?
Stella pulls out her phone and dials it, waiting while it rings.
Reese! Dude, what's up? It feels like it's been forever. Oh, man, I'm sorry to hear that. Do you want me to come by, or... Okay, if you're really sure. But if you change your mind, Oh, I was just calling to ask if you wanted to come out to the woods tonight. I met somebody cool in town today, and... She's Tabitha's cousin. I know! Yeah, just here for the week. Anyway, we're going out to look for the skunk ape. We could take the easier trails, if that would help. Dang, man. That sounds awful. I hope you take it easy tonight. I'll swing by sometime this weekend. We can have a more low-key hang. How's that? Yeah, I'll bring her. Talk to you soon. Bye, bud.
Reese, there's always been something off about that boy. I never did like the smell of him.
Looks like it's just you and me, pal.
Did he ask you to bring me to his house? Why?
He's excited to meet you, of course. I think you'll find most folks in town are.
Is he okay?
He's not feeling well, that's all. He's had a lot going on in the past, 10 years or so. But I feel like it's gotten a lot worse recently. I can't remember the last time I saw him leave the house. Oh well, it's not my place to talk about, really. I just got a little excited thinking about having him along again. He's hilarious, you'll love him. We should swing by his place sometime this week.
That'd be nice. I'd love to meet your friends.
Awesome. I'll make it happen. He's definitely the trickier one to meet. Kanika is much easier to track down since she's at the general store basically every day. But friendship can wait. We've got a skunk ape to hunt. So we should probably head out if we want to make it up the mountain before it's too dark. Come on, let's blow this popsicle stand.
You pause before getting up. Maybe it's time to make a good first impression. I'm gonna leave a generous tip. Because that's the correct action. You reach into your pocket and pull out a crumpled $5 bill. You know it's a bit more than one would expect to get from such a short dining experience, but you might as well share the wealth while you've got it. You smooth out the bill before placing it on the table inconspicuously.
Oh, that's awesome of you. Avery will appreciate that, I am sure.
Stella turns to leave the diner with you following close behind. Alright, and as it is 9:30, we're gonna stop here for tonight. Nice little empty slot here. There is so much more to this game. We've got a whole second half to episode 1. And I'm really excited to share that with my Discord friends and Twitch. So please come back in 2 weeks' time for part 2.
Okay.
Thank you, Twitch. Have a great night.
Alright.